Hello, this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. You know, when you travel, it's not the things that you see necessarily that makes a good trip, but it's the people that you meet and the stories that they have to tell. Sometimes that's really what makes a trip, and that's what happened to me. I was up on the Yellowhead Highway in northern British Columbia between Jasper National Park and Prince George, and I found a story from some people that I just couldn't get over. Follow me. I'll tell you about it. It's springtime in the Rockies, all right. You can still see the raindrops on my windshield. Parts of the road are straight as an arrow and lots of heavy floodwaters. It's springtime and the snowmelt combined with the rainfall has caused flooding in a lot of places. Fall in that water and you're in a lot of trouble. This is big bear and moose heavy timber country. Crash into these big boys and you're in trouble. There was a lot of real nice rest stops along the highway and lots of room, nice washrooms. Then I saw this sign about an ancient forest and decided to pull in and take a break from the road. The first thing I saw was 4 horses tethered near the picnic tables. I noticed some people folding up their tent and blankets in the open-air picnic shelter, so I walked over and said hello. I asked them where they were from, and they said Quebec. I said, Quebec? And I looked around, and I said, where's your truck and trailer? He said, no, we rode all the way from Quebec. I couldn't believe that. He said they lived up around in the Laurentians, up around Mount Tremblant. I told him I made a couple of videos of that big area there. He lived north of Mount Tremblant somewhere, and they jumped on their horses and they started to ride. I said, how long you been riding? And he said, about a year. We started about a year ago, and we got into northern Alberta in the Edmonton area, I think around Drayton Valley, he said, and they had to hole up for the winter. But springtime has come, and they saddled up, and they're on the trail again. They followed the highways most of the way, riding along the side of the highway. They rode from Quebec to the Yukon, through Ontario, across Saskatchewan and Alberta, and much of British Columbia to their destination south of Whitehorse in the Yukon. While they saddled up, I went for a short walk through the rainforest attraction that was here. Some of these trees were over 1,000 years old. I have seen several of these ancient rainforest areas during my travels, including some in Mexico, Panama, and Alaska. However, the richest and greenest and most lush I have ever seen are those I have seen along the Canadian Pacific coast at places like Vancouver Island, Prince Rupert, and this place here. After my walk through the rainforest, I returned to the rest stop and met another member of this Quebec travel group. His name was Bucky, and he was a big husky lab cross. He was one alert dog and kept an eye on all visitors to the rest area. But he kept always a sharp eye out for the horses and the 2 human masters as they saddled up. He came around for an ear scratch as we waited. 2 other famous Canadians who crossed Canada, they did it in a wheelchair. Terry Fox and Rick Hansen. Now, they had to have a lot of support as they went along the way, and they were raising some big money for a charity for their organizations. But this young Quebec couple seemed to be not raising money for any particular purpose, and Neither did they have any support along the way. They asked and gathered support as they came across it on their trip across the country. So right at the rest stop, this is an example of where somebody showed up and they told him their story and he helped them out. This guy in his truck pulled into the rest stop and the horse riders asked if he was going west, and if so, would he mind dropping off a bale of hay for the horses down the road. The guy was delighted to help, and this was an example of how this young horse riding couple made their way across the country. We are all saddled up and almost ready to go. They put an average of about 15 to 20 kilometers in a day. Look at Bucky there, man. His tail is a wagon and he's ready. And the horses are ready too. They know it's a good day ahead. They're getting worked every day and well looked after. We're on the road again. By the way, the horses' names are Kia, Octane, Angel, and Maple. The horses are accustomed to speeding traffic zooming by, sometimes within only a couple of meters. These horses are good-sized horses and in good shape, well-fed and working and used every day. Bucky is well-trained to always be on the right and trotting along either in the ditch or just along the edge of the ditch away from speeding traffic. Here they are working their way out of the parking lot, headed toward the highway. And there's a highway there, a motorhome going by, and they'll have to watch the traffic and get across. It's not a real busy highway normally. And they're approaching the highway and making the left turn and headed for Prince George. There they go, 4 horses, 2 humans, and a dog, living the dream. Anytime you can live out your dream, or if you can be around someone who is living out their dream, it's such an uplifting, positive kind of a feeling. And that's the kind of feeling that I got when I ran into this young couple from Quebec riding across Canada. So if you liked the video and want to see some more, try to subscribe if you can to this channel of mine, and that helps us bring more videos. And we're traveling across the country in our RV, and we're going to be bringing more videos as time goes by. So we'll see you down the road. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. Adios for now. Au revoir, mes amis.